May 18, 1997, the Malcolm Shabbat's Mosque in Harlem, New York. Chiara Lubich, foundress and president of the Focolare, is the guest of Imam Deen Mohammed, founder of the American Muslim Society. With these two well-known leaders, both heading vast movements, two worlds meet.
Praise be to God. Bismillah, alhamdulillah. We are here together as one human family with our leader, the Muslim American spokesman for human salvation, Imam Muhammad, and his guest and our guest as the host masjid here, Miss Chiara Lubich. We welcome her and all of you who are followers of Miss Lubich to the historical Malcolm Shabbat's Mosque.
After his warm words of welcome, Imam Pasha briefly describes how, at the request of Imam Deen Mohammed, the Malcolm Shabbat's Mosque came to host the May 18th event.
And all we can see was God's work. And we planned to have this successful activity, and we thank God that He has blessed us to be here today, and that He has blessed our guests and those who follow her, Ms. Chiara Lubich. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Allora, Imam Muhammad, Imam Pasha, reverendi imam, distinte autorità religiose, membri della moschea, Malcolm Shabbat, signori e signore.
Imam Muhammad, Imam Pasha, reverend imams, religious leaders, members of Malcolm Shabbat's Mosque, ladies and gentlemen.
Sono felice dell'invito che mi è stato fatto di rivolgere loro qualche parola.
I am very happy to have been invited to say a few words to you.
E sin d'ora ringrazio dell'attenzione che vi vorranno porre.
And I thank you for listening to what I have to say.
Il mio discorso dovrebbe riguardare l'unità nell'esperienza del movimento dei focolari.
I have been asked to speak about unity in the experience of the Focolare movement.
Ma è congeniale a me e al movimento che rappresento questo argomento?
But someone might wonder if unity is a topic of interest to me and the movement I represent.
Dico subito che non se ne poteva scegliere uno di migliori.
Let me say at once that a better subject could not have been chosen.
Perché l'ideale che il movimento vive è proprio quello dell'unità.
Because the ideal that the Focolare movement lives is precisely unity.
E il fine che si è proposto è di portare nel mondo l'unità che genera la pace e suscita la fratellanza universale.
And its goal is to bring into the world that unity which generates peace and promotes universal brotherhood.
L'unità è il carisma, cioè il dono di Dio, proprio di tutto ciò che è nato sotto il nome di movimento dei focolari.
Unity is the charism, that is, the gift of God that underlies all that has come to life under the name Focolare movement.
Ora, prima di svolgere il mio intervento, vorrei porre a loro e a noi
Chiara poses the question, is unity a topic of current interest? In spite of many examples that seem to prove the opposite, she affirms that the world is indeed tending towards unity and therefore towards peace. It is, she notes, a sign of the times. This is demonstrated by the existence of many international organizations created to foster worldwide cooperation in religious, political and economic spheres.
Sì, c'è nel mondo una tensione all'unità.
So there is a tendency toward unity in the world.
Ed è in questo contesto che va visto anche il movimento dei focolari e la sua spiritualità.
And it is in this context that we have to look at the Focolare movement and its spirituality.
E anche l'avvenimento di oggi.
And today's event.
Ma essendo io, come loro sanno, cristiana cattolica,
But since, as you know, I am a Christian, a Catholic Christian,
potrò parlare bene dell'unità dal mio punto di vista soltanto offrendo loro, almeno in un primo tempo, qualche dettaglio della vita cristiana.
the only way I can speak adequately about unity as I understand it is by explaining a few aspects of the Christian life, at least in the first part of my talk.
Mi spinge a ciò la sincerità, e la sicurezza della loro comprensione.
I'm prompted to do this because I want to be sincere and because I am confident that you will take this in the right way.
Inoltre potrò parlare bene dell'unità soltanto osservando come Dio ha agito nell'imprimere in noi tale concetto.
Moreover, if I want to speak adequately about unity, I have to point out how God impressed this idea of unity upon us.
Egli non è partito subito da essa, dall'unità,
He did not focus our attention first of all on unity
ma
itself,
da ciò che la costituisce, l'amore.
but on love, which is what makes unity possible.
E non ha esordito proponendo subito l'amore reciproco,
And he did not start out by proposing mutual love,
che è il supporto dell'unità,
which is the foundation, the support
ma,
of unity,
ma semplicemente l'amore verso i fratelli, specie i più bisognosi.
but rather he simply began by telling us to love our neighbor, especially the most needy.
Chiara went on to describe the birth of the Focolare movement in the Italian city of Trent during World War II, how she and her companions fled to the air raid shelters several times a day, bringing with them one small book, the Gospels. Opening it and reading, Chiara and her companions felt they were discovering the meaning of these words for the first time, and they felt the urgency to put them into practice. Words such as, love your neighbor as yourself, whatever you did to the least, you did it to me, and so on. In particular, they felt they were born to give a contribution to fulfilling the priestly prayer of Jesus, Father, may they all be one. Chiara then described how the movement came in contact with Christians of different churches who felt that the spirituality was also for them. Then, in 1977, when Chiara received the Templeton Prize in London, the dialogue with the faithful of other religions found its beginning. There Chiara understood that the task of the Focolari was to establish relationships and work for universal brotherhood with people of all religions.
La benevolenza, la compassione o almeno la non violenza sono presenti in varie religioni.
Benevolence and compassion, or at least non-violence, are present in many religions.
È comune a quasi tutte, anche se con versioni diverse, la cosiddetta regola d'oro: non fare agli altri ciò che non vorresti fosse fatto a te.
And almost all of them have some version of the so-called golden rule, which says, do not do to others what you would not have them do to you.
Dice uno scritto dell'antica tradizione islamica:
A writing from the ancient Islamic tradition says,
nessuno di voi è un credente fino a quando non desidera per il fratello ciò che desidera per se stesso.
none of you is a believer until you desire for your brother or sister what you desire for yourself.
È vero, bene, è vero. Basta questa regola d'oro per garantire il nostro legame d'amore con ogni prossimo.
This golden rule is enough to guarantee our bond of love with every neighbor.
E basterebbe quest'amore per comporre l'umanità in una sola famiglia.
And this love would be enough to bring all humanity together into one family.
Ma non è solo questo.
But that is not all.
Anche i buddisti, per esempio, hanno delle norme simili ai comandamenti dei cristiani e degli ebrei.
For example, Buddhists also have norms that are similar to the commandments of Christians and Jews.
Per esempio, non uccidere, non dire il falso, non rubare, non commettere atti impuri.
For example, do not kill, do not bear false witness, do not steal, do not commit impure acts, and so on.
Si può quindi incoraggiarci a vicenda ad attuare queste norme
This means that we can encourage one another to live out these norms.
e vivere così sempre meglio il nostro legame religioso.
And by doing so, we will constantly improve the way we live out our religious commitment.
E con il grande mondo dell'Islam.
And what about the great world of Islam?
Fin dai primi contatti con essi siamo stati profondamente colpiti dalle affinità fra le nostre religioni abramiche.
From our very first contacts with Muslims, we have been deeply struck by the affinity that exists between our two religions that
Ad
trace
esempio,
their roots back to Abraham.
il credere nell'unico Dio clemente e misericordioso è in
For
comune.
example, we believe in one God who
La
is compassionate
dedizione-
and merciful.
La dedizione totale alla volontà di Dio,
This total dedication to God's will,
anche l'alta stima di Gesù e di Maria sua madre.
and the high esteem we have for Jesus and for Mary, his mother.
Ma ciò che subito ci ha fatto sentire particolarmente vicini ai fratelli musulmani è il condividere con loro una profonda fede nell'amore di Dio.
But what immediately made us feel especially close to our Muslim brothers and sisters was the fact that we share with you a profound faith in the love of God.
Come dice bene il Corano, egli è più vicino a noi della vena giugolare.
As the Qur'an puts it so well, he is closer to us than our jugular vein.
È giusto anche quello. Sì, bene. E ci unisce anche strettamente la pratica di un amore vero e disinteressato per ogni prossimo.
And we are also closely united to Muslims by the practice of a sincere, unselfish love for every neighbor, which all of us try to have.
Alcuni amici musulmani sono in stretto contatto col nostro movimento in tutto il mondo.
Some of our Muslim friends are in close contact with our movement all over the world.
Fra di loro ci sono imam, fedeli praticanti e altri che per l'incontro con il movimento sono tornati alla pratica delle 5 colonne dell'Islam.
Among them are imams and other practicing Muslims, and some of these are people who, when they met the movement, returned to the practice of the 5 pillars of Islam.
Così essi stessi hanno voluto dare
Chiara
vita
then
a
cited
gruppi
specific
che
examples of
pongono
activities of Muslim and Christian youth of the movement aimed at breaking down barriers of indifference and division. She also cited the results of an ideal of unity put into practice. For example, people who move from a life without God to a life centered on God, youth who find meaning for their lives, families revitalized by love, and society transformed in all its aspects.
Insomma, questa collaborazione fra tutti noi di religioni diverse fa un sacco di bene.
In other words, this collaboration among all of us of different religions is accomplishing a great deal of good.
E allora non c'è che da augurarci che questo sia un giorno veramente sintomatico,
So we can wish that today will be a very significant day for
che
us,
inizia l'era di un qualche cosa di nuovo,
that it begins a new era for us,
dove fra tutti noi ci sia l'amore
where
vicendevole
among us all there will be this mutual love.
e andiamo quindi avanti con fiducia e con
So let
speranza.
us go together with trust and with hope.
Amiamoci,
Let's love one another.
collaboriamo.
Let's work together.
Dice un santo
There is a
cristiano,
saint, a Christian saint.
il mondo
He says,
è di chi lo ama
the world belongs to the
e
one who
meglio
loves
sa
it
dargli nella
and who
prova.
best can give proof of their
Ed è
love.
quello che possiamo fare noi tutti
And
insieme.
that is what we can do all together.
Ecco.
We are very happy and pleased and filling our hearts have been blessed to be here to witness the address to this gathering here in Harlem, New York, in America, the United States of America, by a very special creation of God, this great leader of the folklore people who is now leading also members of different religions, not only the Catholic community and the Christian community, but now she's leading even members from the Muslim Ummah, the Muslim community. And I always believe that if we recognize good and support good, we can get nothing but good from it. And it wasn't surprising at all for me to hear that a Muslim who had benefited from the association with this folklore group and their movement have become even a better Muslim and decided to practice the 5 principles that they weren't practicing before. That's not surprising to me at all. In fact, I have from my own
Imam Muhammad continued by sharing his experience of growing in the knowledge and understanding of Islam. He explained that motivated by his faith, he was led to embrace what was good, wherever it existed in humanity.
And I finally saw that it wasn't good for us to not to embrace the good and appreciate the good and support the good that we find in others, whether they belong to a religion or not, whether they are of your color or not, whether they are of your nationality or not. If they have good that's benefiting the whole humanity, acknowledge that good. And if you have an opportunity, even support that good, encourage that good and support that good. So, so this idea that is in the folklore movement is something that our souls, our human souls, knows, our soul knows that, and our soul wants that. Our souls are hungering for that. And for that reason, I have embraced them as my friends, and I admire them greatly, and I believe in their movement, and I consider myself a person who's open to their influences. I'm not closed. I'm open to their influences. And we know that
Imam Muhammad expressed his conviction that now is the best moment in the history of humanity, that it is a new era, not only for Islam, but also from many cultural and religious perspectives.
It's a great day for us. And let me tell you something. History is being made here in Harlem, New York, in Malcolm Al-Hajj Malik al-Shabazz Mosque, right here in Harlem. History is being made. This great lady, I hope that you all will get more literature on the Focolare movement and read about her, because you should, especially you imams, you leaders, even you business people, all of you leaders, you school teachers, you should know her life story. So Islam is a religion of unity. It begins on that principle that God is one, His creation is one whole, is a whole, that there is one universal law for all matter, for all the material things, and that everything is related. Everything is related. And God has made things different, and human beings too, different, because He wants that unity to progress. The diversity is to provide the unity with legs, with wheels, with movement, so that we can have more movement and more progress. And God says that He has made us humanly different by color, by nationality, and to encourage us to want to get acquainted with each other. And if we get acquainted with each other, we're going to find benefit in you that's not in us. We're going to find help in humanity in you that's not in us. And God wants us to bring all this good help together so that our humanity will get where God wants it to go. Thank you very much. And we welcome this great lady. We welcome this great lady, and we will keep her in our hearts. Assalamu alaikum.
Chiara and Imam Muhammad briefly met again before departing, pledging to work together for peace and unity.
Yes, God is my witness. You have me as your friend, and I will support you.
Io sono tuo amico e che ti aiuterò sempre. And I want to tell you the
I believe in your leadership.
Io credo così tanto in quello che tu fai per come guida.
Anch'io credo in lei.
And I believe in you too.
I think the speakers were excellent. The lady's name escapes me right now, but I thought that she was very wonderful. She gave us a very wonderful human warmth, a very warm feeling of her presentation of the religion. I learned a lot from her history as an individual. She's been through a lot. She's a God-fearing person. I fell in love with her.
Oh, it was very important. It was an event of humanity. And I think that it not only showed a picture community-wise or state-wise or country-wise, it was a global picture here today. I heard one of our elder brothers, we call our pioneers, he said to me today, he said that it was like Joseph's coat of colors here today.
My name's Lorna Liddy, and I felt that this was a wonderful cultural experience. I really enjoyed it, and I hope more comes of it. And I like your speaker from Italy. I like the focollarity, and I loved our Imam, how he opened his arms and said that he's welcoming this cultural experience. So I hope something happens for it, something more united, something stronger.
I think understanding that when you have people that have a common goal, race doesn't matter, religion doesn't matter, because we're all trying to strive and please God. So it all came out today. Very, very, very appreciative, wonderful lecture. Very clear. We could understand. It was just beautiful.
I thought today was absolutely wonderful. It's all that we planned for and then some more. It was an absolutely fantastic day, and it's a day that's steeped in history and unity.
And what did you like best?
Oh, I liked everything. From the time that we got here, the excitement of the audience, the anticipation that you felt in the crowd, the good feelings as people walked in the door and gave you the greeting. When during the address, the rapt attention that everybody paid, and as they left, all of the people saying thank you for having us, and the fellowship between the Muslims and the Catholics, it was just a wonderful day.
Very, very historic, and I think that the worldwide ramifications of what took place here today will quite naturally be yet to be seen. But I think there's a lot of blessings on a whole lot of people today because there's so many people happy as a result of what actually took place. I think we'll always be indebted as humanity to Imam Deen Mohammed and Miss Lubich for them having the insight and the wisdom to come together and pull all of us together for the sake of the common good of humanity. So I just believe that as a result of your publications and our publications, letting people around the world know exactly what happened here today, we will probably cause other people who are in association with her leadership as well as his to come together somewhere else in the world. And I think that's really what this was all about. So the worldwide ramifications or connections are yet to be seen, and I just think it was a great day for all of us. No doubt about it.